Ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, let me look.
Put that in. Put that in. Put this
I
in.
gotta put that in.
Put
Leave all
this
this
in.
in.
What is
Leave all
going
this
on?
in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Grind Podcast. I'm doing
The
it all with
fuck
my
was
hands
that,
because
Brody?
I'm
What
always
the fuck
hype.
was that?
You didn't see him do that? He went like that when he did the intro.
Whoa, real quick, welcome back though. It's your host, Roger Resendez, aka Sensational. We also got Brody over here, right? Let me get it right
What?
this time,
Yes,
right
you
over
got it
here.
right. What's up?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? And then we got ladies and gentlemen, special guest Clayster, Clay with the ponytail. Oh wait,
Actually,
oh wait,
actually, guys,
Ponytail Clayster.
I'm going on a mental health break. Sorry, I got it back.
oh that's
Oh
right,
shit.
ladies and
Oh
gentlemen. He's
shit.
not wrong. He's not wrong. We'll get into it later. Actually, it was breaking news. But we actually, it's not Clayster. It's Austin himself. Go ahead and say what's
What up?
up,
What up?
Austin. What's up? What's up? Just real quick, just to catch everybody up. How's everyone been doing? I hope you guys have all been well.
I'll
Brody, what
tell
you
you
been
who's
up to?
not doing well. Brody,
Oh.
down bad, 2 for 5 in the past week. Me, I'm making money 3 and 5.
You got
Um,
one more win than me.
yeah, but the difference between that is I'm positive you're not.
Yo, how much money do you
Yeah.
have
You
left in your
lost.
account?
Well, I just made more bets, so
I'm glad they didn't
Uh,
ask me that question, boys, because I when
he
they would
has
have said how
0.
much money. Actually, it's about 11 cents now. It's 11. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, welcome back. We're all doing good. We're all doing good. Real quick, just to say yes. Do we want to talk about our picks real quick, or do we want to talk about last
let's
week
go.
matches going on?
last
Let's go
week.
over our picks from
Last week.
last
Well,
week
Last week.
I just want to start everything off by
with
saying
how bad your team is.
fuck phase. Okay, just straight
No, no, no.
fuck phase. Okay.
I
You
don't know,
know,
bro. I
you
definitely
had
feel
you had
different.
the easy sweep. My underdog pick was going to win. You took 3 or 4 rounds in an S&D. 3 or 4 rounds in an S&D. You're supposed to be the best team. The best team. And then you went and lost to Optic. Like, it just,
Well,
mind blown, bro. Just absolutely mind
um,
blown. I put all my faith in this team, and they screw it up. I just don't
I,
understand.
and I get that, Brody. I definitely understand the frustration because I will definitely say when I was chilling at work, pushing that weight, and I saw my Twitter going off saying Optic beat Phase, I was like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on? This is unexpected for sure." Because, like as we're saying, they Phase theoretically should have taken first place in the seed. We all had it predicted. Anybody would not have been blamed if you put $1 million on that shit. Especially just the track record of these teams. And I mean, FaZe was just coming off a 3-1 victory from LA Thieves, and then yeah, 3-2 Optic. And I will say, if we did, I mean, I just want to talk about honestly the last map. Like Brody was saying, some S&D rounds. First map was 250, 177. Optic wins. Dope. Again, don't really want to talk about these matches too much other than the last one. 6-4 S&D map 2, 3-2 Control Optic, and then 250, 172 on Apocalypse Hardpoint map 4. But
Can I just say
uh,
we
oh yeah,
saw the
Austin, what do you
cracks.
want to think?
We
Yeah.
we saw the cracks in the team last week when it comes to who was it? Was it London that almost won 2 maps against them? A team like London shouldn't even be coming close to
I,
phase. You see the cracks. That's why I took give me plus 2.5 on 100
Mm.
T or LA Thieves.
And
And then I didn't expect the win from Optic, but you see the cracks last week. This shouldn't really be that big of a surprise to you,
but
Brody.
like no, it is though. It should be a surprise to everybody. Like these minuscule cracks that you're talking about aren't major to the point where you think
that's what
a
I'm saying.
team like a struggling team like Optic is gonna win, or LA is gonna take a
Well,
map off of them.
struggling. Didn't
Especially
didn't
thinking
they
last week though. No, because real
3-0-2
quick,
teams last week?
yeah, they 3-0-2 teams last week
But
for
they
sure.
came
And
into this struggling. Is my point. We didn't know what we knew now, right? They went into this week struggling.
who did
No,
FaZe?
No,
no.
Optic. Optic
They
went
Optic?
won.
in.
They 3-0-2 teams last week.
No, Optic. Well, but then think about this though. Think about this. They didn't or they may have 3-0'd those two teams last week, but again, it was a Paris and it was a weak New York. So again, this was a Optic who 3-0'd two teams that we weren't too sure about yet. I mean, so again, Brody's not wrong because the track record of Optic before this was still on that struggle bus. I mean, if you guys just saw, by the way, the process that just came out, Optic's documentary, amazing. I mean, it
I haven't
showed
watched
their
any of it.
struggles. Well, if you did watch it, Brody, I don't know if you had a chance, but in that
No.
it talked about their struggles and how much they were going through the major, like going through the motions, especially through that major. So I mean, especially I mean that in that first home series of stage 5, it was definitely just to see what they had made of, but it wasn't their final form. This week, for sure, they came into this week, like I said, not struggling, but definitely still had questions on them. But definitely after that 3-2 victory against FaZe, my biggest question is, can they keep the momentum riding? Because for sure, like Brody was saying, they were struggling earlier, but we did see some signs of brightness last week that
Eh,
this week
mm,
might have actually
That's
turned into a
that's
real
my
spark
point
and
though. Like
fire.
we talked about it last week, how we knew New York was like, was this a fluke or was New York actually struggling because of this Sesame and a seam switch that happened? Are they still trying to figure that out? But we knew that, okay, Optic 3-0'd both teams, but these teams weren't at full, full power,
Mhm.
I guess you could say. So again, we're just going off the prior weeks. Optic was on the struggle train. They were on a downward trend, and
Yeah, I mean,
and FaZe is on an upward trend. They had a 13 game streak or something like that. Like
they're not even on upward strength. They've just been at a pinnacle, honestly, Brody. Like
it's
you're
like
right. They've
it's
been
like
at a pinnacle.
it's like an easy bet. Like the fact that you think these
100%.
these little cracks like showed somehow that the Optic was gonna beat them is just insane.
I
Nobody predicted this. You can't tell
base
me. You can't
no,
tell me.
I didn't predict the win from Optic. I knew it was going to be close, and I mean I did absolutely predicted that Thieves wasn't going to get 3-0'd or
But that's
um
what I'm saying. Like the Thieves, they were up like 5-2 in the S&D, and then they just gave rounds away. It's
True.
and then they came back
And
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 absolutely
honestly,
annihilated them in the control, and then
the true
annihilated
thing,
them in the hard point.
the real thing that happened actually that Thea's match on the S&D, VZ shot bodies.
Oh yeah,
You just
you
can't
can't shoot
do
bodies.
you
This is
cannot do that. Austin,
I
tell
want to
us
talk
firsthand
about
experience about that. What do you think?
I want to talk about
Exactly.
that later and how
Uh,
soft COD pros are, but we can get into that later.
for
The
sure.
next team definitely want to talk about is going to
Don't get
be
him started.
New York Subliners and how god awful of a showing they've had the past 2 weeks. I want to give this to Brody because this is your team, Brody. How are you feeling?
I'm regretting choosing New York as my team now.
Look, that's
I'm
my team
really
too.
really
No,
regretting
it's
it.
Shouts to
Um,
Wasim.
but it's I don't know. They don't seem like they know what's going on anymore. They're just throwing fundamentals out the window and just kind of doing their own thing. And this whole Clayster thing, like,
we can get into the Clayster thing. Let's get into the Clayster thing in a little bit
I mean, it's
because
New York. I would just get
Yeah,
into
we
it
have
now.
to. We just have to. We just have
all
It's
right,
to
we can
part
because
of the
fuck it,
story.
fuck it.
So my
yeah.
take on the Clayster thing, like, okay,
Yeah.
here's this. Like, I'm gonna just lay it out for you how I'm thinking about it. Okay, so you're going into an important week, right? You have a lot riding on this week with seeding. New York is going against the far better teams than Optic is. Okay, so they have a lot more riding on this week than say Optic does. Clayster steps down, right? I don't really agree with the move, but if what he's saying is true and it's for mental health and he really needs it, then fair, whatever. But I think this is an important week, and I just find it weird that a leader like Clayster would just like leave his team like this. And I'm
Um,
gonna be real with you, with DiamondCon, this team's chalked. This team's chalked.
I, I,
Who's the IGL now?
I'm
Who's
gonna have
taking the
to
IGL?
here we go. Here we go. I'm not gonna 100% disagree with the take, but I can't say I do agree with the take, Brody. I can't say I do agree. You do bring us some valid points. I 100% do. You do bring up some valid points. And to those, I want to say, first, yes. I mean, the Clayster situation was huge. To address the first thing you're saying, yeah, they were struggling. They've been struggling. No way. I mean, they lost matches we all predicted they won. First off, I mean, they choked those games against Thieves 3-2. Optic, they just got 3-0. You can't do that. And then last week, of course, Clay's last match playing for a while. New York lost to London. You can't believe you just can't take that. You just can't take that. And you saw even in the maps you won, they won. Clay just wasn't feeling it. And I think, Brody, this is why I think it might have been a good thing, and why I can kind of understand Clay is stepping down. That went to the teammates. You saw on Hydra, Brody. I mean, you can even from firsthand experience and I mean, even for me, I'll tell you right now, from some of our teammates last year, boy, when I was playing and then I was just seeing what they were doing and just mentally, they were mentally drained, bro. I mean, sometimes it would impact my performance, and I just didn't, I was like, what the hell? What's the point of even playing? And I think Clay is again stepping down to give New York a chance to maybe get some more life. And to that, last question, Brody, who's their in-game leader? My man Wasim. Asim. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He's been stepping up over Brody before. I can already see the face before you say anything. This man has been doing it all. Yes, he was out 1 week, but that does not matter. Asim knows this game, does the hard work, has been doing a lot of work, a lot of like the dirty work since the beginning of this game. And I will say, he doesn't have the experience Clay. I can't
Let
say he can replace
Well,
Clay
that's my
100%.
thing.
let me cut
But
everyone off for a second. First
mm,
of all, Roger, I think you have some of the worst takes on the pod. I'm just gonna say that now.
no,
Secondly, no, hold
that's
on,
what
let
I'm
me get
saying.
on
You
to my
can't even let
take.
me
I'll let you
finish.
rebuttal after. I'll
Oh.
let you rebuttal
But
after.
you cut me off,
Hold
so
on,
that's
no,
crazy. You can't
I
even
don't
finish my
care.
take. That's
So
crazy. This I don't care attitude, huh?
so
That's crazy.
I think Brody can be right or wrong. It depends on where Clay's at. If you read the tweet that NYSL put out, he's taking a step. He said he's like taking a break for this series. They said
For this week.
Diamond was going to step in for this series. As an elite player on an elite team, you just can't do that. I get it's for
I
your mental
disagree.
health, but you can't. It's a week. What is it? When's
I
the
disagree.
major?
I
Okay,
disagree.
when's
2
the
The
major?
weeks.
When's the
major, the
2
major?
major,
weeks.
the major is after is
After
next
this
week. Is next
So it's
week.
after
After
this
this
week.
week.
So
What's
then
it
you
called?
can't
This week.
that
But my
you've
thing
been
is,
getting your shit smoked, right? You need to work out the kinks. And now my my where Brody can be wrong is if it's actually for mental health issues and he doesn't plan on this man
oh,
and he
ladies and gentlemen, technical.
he he doesn't plan on coming back, that's a different story. I think that's fine to do, but you can't just take a week off when
Well,
you're getting
he's
smoked and come back for the
Well,
he's
major.
definitely coming back. But,
I
I
mean, I really hope so. But
but here's well,
here's
can
where
I
I finish
just
my take.
can I just rebuttal on your in-game leader point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, somebody's going to have to step up as the in-game leader. My point is nobody's going to be as influential as Clay as an in-game leader.
for sure.
He's a vet. Seems
Yes,
not.
yes, for sure. But
Who on
to
that team
rebuttal
is the vet
that,
now, though?
to rebuttal that, and to again finish my take real quick. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. But again, to finish my take and to rebuttal first that yes, Brody, no one has the experience of Clay. I can't claim that anyone can replace that veteranship because, bro, nobody.
There's
I
your
feel
problem.
even in the league, has enough experience as Clay. Um, but let alone on New York. But with that said, again, the whole Clay stepping down again when you're in-game leader, when you're vet, when you're idol or the person at the top who's supposed to hold the team together is breaking and he can't do anything and he doesn't feel good and it's affecting the other players, the best thing he can do at the moment, honestly, I feel like is take a break and have Diamond Khan come in. And then my thing is right now for the major, Brody, or Austin, I think for the major, it's chalk for them. They're gonna be losers bracket at this point. We're just looking at the what's going on, who the teams have won. They're gonna be in losers brackets at this point. It's fine for them. It's something. It's gives Clay to have a break. It
But
lets the other teams have a chance. And this is again my final thing. And again, a really big point. I think it allows New York to play with no pressure, or less pressure, because again, nobody's looking at this New York team like, hey, these guys are gonna supposed to come out and win and dominate. You know,
But
they play with less pressure.
but
That's
as
what I'm saying.
if you're a New York fan,
Mm,
and Brody could attest to this, your team has been dominant all season. You expect your team to be dominant. I consider New York one of those elite level teams, and for them just to
I agree.
chalk the last week of the regular season going into the last major that leads into champs, it almost seems like they gave up.
all I'm saying is I might be the problem. I declared my fanship to them and they just started shitting the bed.
Brody chalked it. Brody chalked it.
I
Brody
might
chalked
have
it.
just chalked New
But
York.
let's move
But
I
on
no, no, no.
disagree.
to
I really
Disagree.
I want one more point on this.
yeah.
Um, what you said, Roger, that they're guaranteed losers. They're really not. Like Optic and New York are in contention right now, and that's why I said this week means a lot. They have 2 matches. Optic clearly has the easier matches against the easier teams, but we've seen crazier upsets, right? So
Yes.
so
But
New
my
York
thing is,
still has a chance to get to winners.
they have a chance, but my thing is, again, it's so minuscule that at this point, Brody, again, I mean, you're not wrong. A phase did beat, or I mean, an optic did beat a phase, but the chances of honestly, actually, this leads to a whole new argument. The chance of this New York team beating phase is very slim,
No,
but that
no.
leads into another discussion right now. let's say this New York team comes in and they are dominant. They are godlike. What happens from there? Is Clay chalked the same way Nate Shot was chalked back in AW when he stepped
Oh,
down? Or what's going
1000%.
on?
I don't. Okay,
One
so
thousand percent.
just to harp on that,
That's a-
I don't think that Nate Shot was kept on the bench because Carmel was better. I think Nate Shot was just done. But
Nah, I disagree.
no, he was 100%. He 100% said he was done, and then he was like, "Oh,
No,
maybe I'll come back." Clay was like, "I'm coming
yeah.
back next series." There's a total difference. Now, if New York does good, I think as a veteran, Clay should step down.
Like, I'm doing-
Was it that bad of a take?
Oh my god. Oh my god, not that bad. I'm choking just like
Let's
New York. Or Faze, I'm sorry.
let's
Oh,
get back
oh,
into let's
no, yeah.
reroute our conversation to some more matches. I want
No,
to give a shout out. I want
yeah.
to give a shout out to Billy Mental liking our tweet. That a boy. I don't know if you knew that, Roger, or not.
No, that's dope. That's amazing. That's a
This
Billy
man-
Mental. But wait, I have to say, boy. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Billy Mental. I do want to actually let's speak on. I want to speak on him real quick. Just besides him liking our tweet, I'm not gonna say anything about our tweet
I
because
did
I
trash
give it
their
real.
team the tweet
Yeah,
before, and
I
he still
will
liked
give. I'll give. Yeah, I'll give 100% real takes. 100% real takes. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for my boy Billy Mental. He's got a lot of He's got a lot. He had a lot riding on him, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not Billy's mental fault. It's not his fault of anything he did, honestly. It's just like the people at LAG have just been. I don't know what's been going on, but I just don't know if they did it right. I really wish Billy would. I keep calling him Billy. Mental would have had a better chance, honestly, to show what was he made of, because he was thrown into a team that was truly chalked, in my opinion.
They don't care about
Sheen
their
should not
matches.
should not have a team.
I'm so over Cheen getting screwed over. Like it's just
My man, boy,
so
Money Sheen.
mind blowing.
But I'm not
Let's
gonna
be
lie.
real.
Ever since
He
he
was
teamed with Killer, since Killer back in Dream
he's
Team, bro, it's just been downhill.
he was thrown
Sounds
into
Killer.
a team that doesn't care if they win or lose matches. Let's be real. LAG, their
I mean,
season's over with. And if you're an LAG fan, where do you go from here? A complete team rebuild?
my my
Like,
I
thing
mean,
is
yeah.
honestly, yeah, LAG right now, the only thing they're playing for is their next season and this last major, trying to hopefully
I
get 50,000.
I
no, I'm talking about the players. I'm talking about
I'd
the players.
honestly put
Yeah,
money on
that's what I'm
saying
saying.
like Silly's not going to be in the league next year, which is so weird to say, but I don't think Silly makes the league.
You think Wasanamo takes his place?
100%, 100%.
No,
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 like
100% though. My thing
LA.
is, it's
No,
strange to see
what
those
does
players
LAG
because,
like as a team? What do they do as a team with these players?
well, because
Is
that's
where
what I
I
was gonna
want to get
And
say.
they
to.
That's what I
drop
was gonna
it.
say,
It's
Austin.
just
Well, that's what I want to speak on real quick, just to that point, is that it's crazy to think really that some of these players on this team, and just one that in my mind that immediately comes to my mind is just how notable he is that he's truly gonna be dropped, or I don't know if they want to build around him, but apathy, man, like Papa App, you know what I'm saying, the
needs to
father in the
retire.
league. Whoa, that is a hot take
He
right
needs to
there, ladies and
retire.
gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie, he has had 2 years that just been completely chalked for the teams he's been on. But I mean,
But
I
he
don't
hasn't had
know.
like some stellar performance. Like you could
No,
say Octane's like okay, he's on a bad team, but he's a good player. Can't say that for Apathy. He's
I don't know about Octane's take. I have a hot take with Octane too.
I
Is
think
just like
Octane's a good player.
I think he's a good player. I just think he's hyped up too much. I don't think Octane is as good as everyone believes.
I think he's been put on shitty teams consistently. And partially that's his fault because Modern Warfare he put Pander on his team for some reason, which was
Uh,
like I don't understand, but whatever.
check, check.
Um,
But
that was the
yeah,
Friendship League.
I mean,
I mean,
if
as the org though, for sure, like
you
you
need to pick
said,
up star power, you need to get yourself a Kenny or just anyone that's
the
gonna
thing is,
go in there and
another thing
get
though,
kills. They're gonna blow up. You know what I'm saying? Like
a, a
and then
big
build
thing
a
I want to
team
say,
around
Austin,
him.
is I actually want to say final thing that I want to add to that last point.
Yeah, at it.
Like I said, is I agree with you, Austin. They need to get a start, but the biggest problem with that as well, and the last thing I was gonna say, actually, I'm glad you said that because it tied perfectly. Is who is willing to actually be on LAG? Who's willing to go to that org? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know this, and I mean, I'm sure we all, like I said, we've all heard, especially with what happened at Money Chain. The management there is some fugazi. It's fugazi,
Same thing
chickadee
with Seattle.
choppy. Yeah, I mean, exactly. So it's like my thing is it's not what star they can get. It's more of who can they get. You know what I'm saying? Who's willing
That's the
to
same question.
go to these orgs?
Whose
That's
front
not the same
office is
question.
better? Like
That's not the same. That's not the same question, Austin. Because you're saying what they need to get a star. The thing is,
Austin,
I don't think they can get a star. It's
yeah,
more of who can they even get.
yeah,
They can't. There's no way a Kenny. There's no way. Man, I'm not even fucking gonna say fucking Octane or some shit would go to even to this team. Man,
like
it was someone on another struggling player. Like this org is mismanaging their players apparently, not letting them do what they want to do. So not only is it not a star player gonna go, but other players that are challengers or coming in that are prospects, who knows if they even want to join this org just
it's
because of the shitty shit that's been going
it's
on with
not
them.
even that they don't want to join the org. Austin's thinking of it as like this, like the before franchising where it was just like, okay, we're gonna team. That's it.
No,
We'll
I know.
find an org.
No, I know.
It's more
There's
like, hey,
contracts.
contracts. We'll buy you out. We'll do
That's what I'm
this.
saying. That's what they need to do. They
But
need to
they
buy someone
can't
out.
because the players don't want to.
Well,
The-
if you buy out a player,
or they're refusing to spend the money is the problem. Get
I'm
these
saying that's
players.
what they
Yeah.
need to do. I'm not saying that they're going to. I'm saying that's what they need to do because this team's not going to work. You put Mental in a shitty situation where he's not going to shine. He's going to be sent back to challengers, if not next week, by the time next COD comes out. And that's, I mean, that's pointing
I
back. If
think
you're LA,
LAG's. Yeah, I
if you're
agree
an
with you,
LAG
Austin.
fan,
You're
find a
right.
new team. Honestly,
I agree with you. Also, they need to find a team. I think honestly though, LAG's best thing at this point is honestly to build a new team around just new players, new talent, maybe a little bit of internship. But like I said, there's no way they're getting a star just because again, not only with the contract situation, but again, even if they say they're getting this mad money to buy out another player's contract, again, I just don't believe a star or someone a star is going to go to LAG with 100%. If they are truly a star, they would go to they'd probably get an offer from another team that's probably better. So, like I said, I think LAG is literally either going to go for scraps or people like newer players that are going to either build new prospects or scrap retired players
the
or players
next
that aren't in the
team
league.
I want to talk about, me and
I state.
Rogers, me and Rogers' home team, um, coming in and just
Which one is
absolutely
that?
Optic.
I'm just joking, I'm
Hello.
just joking. I'm Dallas Empire fan. What? Just joking, I'm just joking. Whoa,
They
don't play me.
destroyed. They killed it this weekend, and you know,
A very amazing week, important week, Austin. I can't believe you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Austin.
and this really opens your eyes to maybe last week wasn't just them playing shit
Right.
teams, and now you're looking at like this major, seeing what they're gonna do, and from this major to champs, like I have confidence. I didn't before, and now I do. I mean, some money might go down for them to win this next major.
They're a fourth place
Whoa,
team. I'm calling it now. Fourth
whoa,
place
whoa,
placement at champs.
whoa. They do have a track record for that. But just to talk about it, whoa. Well, I'll talk to that. Actually, get that to there in
They're a
just a
fourth
second. But
place team. Like
I'm trying to think of, yeah, honestly, think of
They've
all
been
the
a
teams.
fourth
They
place team,
probably
but have you not seen them the past
no,
couple weeks?
we're a fourth
honestly,
place team. This is
they're
Optic.
probably
They
a
heat
fourth or
up,
fifth. Yeah.
they heat up, and then they fall down. It's the same shit.
It's just
You fall for
what
it
they're
every
really
time.
feeling at the moment.
I
I
mean,
mean, my thing is,
and another thing is like even like you look at Optic's track record, they dominated AW and they got like top 14 at champs.
This is a completely different team, though.
What I'm saying, it's
no, it's just
Optic.
the cursed org. No, I'm just
It's
joking. The org is
Optic.
fire, but my thing is, let's just talk about it a little bit, okay? So first, what I just want to mention on it is yes, Optic. I mean, this week definitely showed a little, or this last week showed that the 2 weeks ago in the New York home series wasn't too much fugazi. I mean, the 3-0 versus Paris and New York was low justified, even if they were against the weaker teams. I mean, last week they did beat a phase. Who knows if it was a weaker phase or if it was just a stronger optic. I think honestly it could have been a stronger optic, truly. Um, excuse me, oh my god. But yeah, like I said, they won some good matches. The last map was really close. Um, honestly, this could have gone either way. So yes, that's where I do have to agree with Brody. I don't think they are 100% like yes, they can win. They can
Top
win.
three at the major.
Top.
That's
But
my lock.
I definitely, yeah, I think they do definitely have the opportunity or the
I think
chance
they
to
could.
do
I
that.
think they could win the major. I don't think they're placing high at champs. I think they're a top
Here's
four
what I'm
team
saying.
at champs.
Here's what I'll say. I believe. Here's my take on that, Brody, because I kind of agree. I believe that Optic doesn't have the best chance at winning champs, but they have the best chance at upsetting champs and being the victor. You know
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because
you have New York, which is in turmoil right now. You have Dallas, who's not looking good. That's another match I want to talk about because I think that was the best match all weekend. That was my favorite match all weekend.
The
was
Florida
Mutineers.
versus Dallas.
Yes,
Oof,
Florida looked.
crazy,
I will
crazy.
say it, Florida.
Florida's battling their heart out right now for
Dude,
that top 6 spot.
there was. It was like so weird watching the hard point because with the Florida versus Dallas because I'm looking at it and
Both of
Florida's
them, bro, are insane.
Florida would rotate, right? And then they would get like the first 20 seconds, but then Dallas would completely break down their setups immediately. But somehow Florida pulled it off, and I was just like, how? Like they were just getting outplayed every second of that Dallas hardpoint match, the first one at least, and they still came out on top. It was one of the most exciting matches. I think they played a
And well,
phenomenal S&D.
truly, I mean that team, Brody, I know has some of your favorite S&D stars ever, known as you know who, Havoc.
Havoc,
That's correct. That's right.
my boy since BO3.
What I will say about that hard point take, Brody, is I couldn't agree more that was insane. But I really have to. The only thing I want to say is I have to give props to Mutineers teamwork. I think that's the only reason they won that. Is that yes,
100%.
they rotated early, so they got that initial time. They did get broken easily, but like I said, the teamwork. They they got they got the
They
scrap.
did a
They
good
got that
job of
initial time and
recovering.
everything. Yeah, exactly. And
100%.
as a team, and that's a lot of thing that I feel like in order to be a top team or in order for one of these bottom teams to really contend is that they have to be able to recover. And a lot of I feel like the lower teams just I feel like get in their head when they start losing or they start getting come back on or they just can't keep up. They're like, oh snaps, and then it just starts snowballing. And that's what I feel like this game's a lot. Especially in this game, it's so easy to chain 1, 2, 3 hills. So being able to recover and keep in the game the way Mutineers did, and ultimately pull off the victory is what you need if they want to start winning and competing, especially with the phaser and ultra.
I think they need to work on their hill setups and even their control setups. They're a little weird, but I was just enjoying like what Havoc was doing. There was a point in the control which I really liked is it was a raid control and he pushed up vents and he had them spawning ringside and his whole team was just like positioned, mid and ring because they weren't gonna push vents and when they did, Havoc had them. He had them spawning in a certain spot and it was just like it was so coordinated. I just think they need to work up on where everybody else is positioned on the map, especially in like these hard points because these hills were being like they would rotate and then their setups would just fall apart immediately. But
I
like we
feel that.
said, they recovered well. They did what they had to do, and
And I will say also, I feel like Dallas teamwork also that those hard points weren't really the best either. So I mean, I can't really. It's hard to really also say if like I said, I do want to say Florida's teamwork was good, but like I said, I just don't think Dallas
I
Empire's
think it was a
teamwork
fluky
was
Dallas
yeah.
Empire as well. But
I
I
think it
think
was a fluky Dallas Empire with a good Florida. Yeah.
yeah,
So
but I would like I enjoy watching Florida play, and I would like them to be good, to be a contender. Make it a little bit more exciting. Take New York's spot. You know what I mean? Be that
I
no.
think I
contender.
think this Florida team, this is them hitting stride. I think this is showing you their full potential. And when I say full potential, I'm meaning this is their full potential. It's their ceiling. I don't see them really making top 3, top 4, top 5 at champs or possibly even the next major. But
I would say top
they,
5.
they, they possibly, but that would be their max. You know what I'm saying? They like I can't see them doing this to every team and being in their Super Saiyan form like this every time. And even with
Yeah.
Dallas, playing like, let's be real, dog shit, which is a fluke for them. But like I said, I think this
I
is their
think
ceiling. I
I
can't
won't
see
say
them.
I want to say dog shit, but definitely not good for sure.
yeah, no,
Not
it
good at
wasn't a good
all.
series at all from Dallas.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, there was definitely some moments of brilliance, like they did break good. So, but I definitely agree with your take, Austin. I agree, Austin. I just like I said, that's what I'm saying. Florida needs to do these things in order to contend, but I just can't see it because, like Austin said, it was just a fugazi Dallas, and again, seeing Florida do that against a phase, against a Toronto Ultra, even I mean honestly, even against a Chicago Optic when they're feeling hot right now, it's just like honestly, I don't know. It's just hard to see that. It just really is.
I
And
have
I don't know.
faith
I
in
feel like this week is gonna prove a lot because, I mean, this week Florida is going against, I mean, Minnesota later on in the week, but their first match in the true test is Ultra. So if they beat Ultra, bro, honestly, anything is possible. They're taking that spot. But I really just don't, I just don't see it happening. Ultra's not off their game.
Was there any more matches you guys wanted to talk about before we move on?
I mean, I think that was it. The first day was kind of a snore fest, but
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
very,
Also,
good weekend. Like I said, I went positive on the week, unfortunately.
the only other thing I will actually
Carl,
say real quick.
yes,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I'm sorry. Is that last match I would want to not really talk about, but just to mention is that 3-1 from Paris on Thieves. Bro, Thieves is like, what is going on? Is it Chuck? I will say John had a godlike ace. Um, or four piece. I don't know if y'all saw that clip. Godlike, but what? LA Thieves, dog. Like
they're
what,
chalked. It's I don't
bro?
even like
What? Like what
too many
happened,
roster
bro?
changes. It's just chalk team.
My thing is like, bro, the hard point close. Why? The S&D round 11, like, and LA Thieves won. Okay, or Paris won. Okay, control. This is what I really want to talk about. 3-0, 3-0. Like what? Come on, dude. Like, yeah, I mean, and then 250, 178. You just don't expect this out of some veteranship like Slasher John, who they did so much to pick up, after all this time. Draws and Kenny. It's just like, bro. Like, I know, Austin, you were saying they needed LAG needs some star power from Kenny, but like, is Kenny a star anymore, boys? I don't know. Hot take, hot take.
I think
But
I think you guys are getting caught up with like, one game, not even the whole weekend. I mean,
This is coming from the
shoot,
guy that said the
no,
3-0 from
I
Optic last
disagree.
week solidified them as.
I didn't say it solidified
You
them, but
you
I'm
did.
saying
You said you said that they
you
were a
saw
good
them
team
take
now
4
because
goals,
they 3-0'd.
and it
And
was two
Austin, just
goals.
to
Hold
just
on, I'm
to
gonna finish my take because
uh,
I
go ahead,
haven't
go ahead.
got
I'm
to it.
sorry. You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think they get more practice in with their new roster, and I think by major they're gonna do well, and
Thieves. We're
by
talking about thieves.
yes,
So here's
Talk about Roger having bad
real
takes.
quick,
That was an awful
no,
take.
real quick. Are you done with that take? Because I just want to rebuttal that real quick, because like I
we'll
get what you're
see.
saying. I get what you're
We'll
saying
see.
real quick, but the only reason I'm like the reason I'm saying I'm not just taking that one series is I'm looking at this whole stage 5. First week in the New York Subline or home series. Again, it was 3-2 against a weak, struggling New York. 3-2. And then Brody, don't yawn. This is a hot take. And then LA Thieves 3-1 against London. When honestly, come on, bro, it's London. And then, I mean, they 3-1 against FaZe, whatever. Still not showing too much signs of life. And then 3-1 by Paris. Like I said, I just don't know. Thieves, I just don't know what's going on over there. I
It's
feel
a
like
new
they have this
roster. They're
honeymoon
still
period.
figuring it out.
The
Trust.
but how long does it take to figure out? That's my thing, bro.
More
It's
than
2
2 weeks.
weeks. It's 2 weeks. This is the
More than
final week, and then it's major, bro. And then it's champs. These guys, LA Thieves, honestly don't have any time to figure it out anymore. They need to turn up right now because they're in danger of being in that 7th to 8th spot, and none of these top 8 teams want to be in that spot. Because honestly, it doesn't matter if you're in top 6 and playing an Atlanta Faze round 1. Because even if you lose, at least you have losers bracket and have another chance. If you're 6th, 7th, 8th, you're done after one match. So if you come out cold, you're fucked. And I know none of these teams, especially Slasher, doesn't want to be in that situation. So
Can
I'm
I
just
just
saying.
this
can I
part, I
just
just said
point
this.
something out? Uh, why do we have teams starting in a losers bracket? I think this is the
Yeah,
worst
Yeah,
setup ever.
it's
I
because
like that teams don't make it in, but starting in loser bracket just sounds,
it's just
dumb.
I'm
I
okay
don't
with
like it
teams
either.
not making it in, but there needs to be more teams.
I mean, yeah, because I don't like it either. I mean, I get the reason why is just to give an incentive for these teams to
Teams
still
to, yeah.
compete. Like,
And I
yeah,
agree, but there needs to be
uh,
more teams. There's just not
yeah,
enough teams to
yeah.
do it.
And I mean, they can't force more teams to happen,
But I
but
mean, I think they
I
just
mean,
like they shouldn't do this, then every team should just be champs.
hopefully an
I don't
expansion to come
necessarily
soon.
because then there's no point for regular season matches to happen.
You have the
But
majors.
This is
I think the way they have it set up is a complete mess. I know they
honestly,
can't have open bracket teams, but like I wish we
I'd
could.
rather see no majors, one big playoff at the end, aka champs.
No, it,
That makes no that makes the regular season games count more and more. You're gonna get more people watching because those
you
games
won't.
matter.
Won't. I can guarantee you that people are gonna stop watching. It's gonna get boring.
No, I don't necessarily. I mean, that's what regular sports are, right? They don't have tournaments or big
it's just again that
things.
regular sports conversation. I don't know.
It's not the same thing.
Well, no other,
I don't know.
no
Yeah.
other like big franchise league like this does it like they're doing it. So, and
But having a big regular season the whole year is just so
those leagues
like
are doing much better than Call of Duty. I think
Call
they
of
need
Duty's
to,
2 years into it, so gotta give it some time. But and Call
The
of Duty is
growing league for sure.
also a relatively small esport. But no, having a big season is just like you kill viewership that way. Like baseball has a huge regular season. I don't watch every baseball game, right? Now
right.
My thing
you're
is,
gonna kill viewership. You're trying to inflate something that has
This doesn't have
millions
a.
and trillions of viewers, right, to something that doesn't have those kind of numbers. So they
I'm
have
just
to
saying
rely
that's
on
gonna
these
drive
these
more
events.
interest
No,
into the
it's
regular.
not. It's going to do the opposite.
No, it wouldn't because those regular season matches are going to count more. Those are going to count solely on your placing
Yeah, but
for
people are gonna be
territory.
tired of, okay, here's another league match, hooray! Like like the way AEW did it was, I think, okay, because you had 5Ks and 2Ks, and your pro points mattered. You had those every weekend, and then you also had contender teams mixed in with those other teams for the points. And then during the week, you had your league matches with the 12 teams that were qualified for the league, and you would have like two a day, and then on Saturday and Sunday you would have your 5K and
I
2K.
just hate watching it now with the tournaments, and I'm saying how this is my opinion on how I would like to watch it, and I think it would drive. It would interest me more to watch these matches
I think it would
during
do
the
the
week
opposite for me.
when I know they're not going to really matter because it really matters on how you're going to place at the majors and how those majors are going to affect your placing at champs. I don't think the champs should be at
Group
you know
franchising, let's just go back to having UMG Dallas's, UMG Chicago's,
well,
you know,
that's
fucking
boring.
forget it. I'm having a event in a hotel in the basement, hotel basement. Everyone pull up.
NJ
Anyway, let's.
Rods. Like it was better.
And
It was
Nicholas
better.
Subanuski is doing signings.
My
Uh,
next
my,
top I
oh,
wanted
go
to
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
get to, and I already told you guys what it was going to be, but how soft these pro players are, and it was nothing.
Ooh,
It wasn't.
okay. Doing that before the Seattle home season. I
It,
like it. Let's do it.
it wasn't even like anything that a pro player did this weekend, but I saw a tweet and I couldn't even tell you the person, and then this isn't me bashing him because I don't know if he was bad or good, but Dextero put out, I don't know if it was a video or an article
Oh, you're
about
talking about Pinelli?
the biggest, it was like the biggest,
Yeah.
rookie flops where he had a good rookie year, then flopped after that. And he like quote tweeted the tweet being like, ouch, or something like that. And everyone was like, oh man, like, you're good. Like, it's fine. You're good. And he's like, thanks guys for the support. Shut the fuck up, bro.
I
If
don't
Yo, chill, Chief
I
Keef,
don't I
chill.
don't necessarily think that's being soft though.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
think
if it's
it's
chill.
I think
like,
it's an untasteful article by Deserto. It's like a weird
no,
article,
I don't
but
think it's untasteful. Guess
it's
what?
definitely untasteful.
No,
For
how?
sure.
Because
That's
every
super
day
like
every day, like, guess what? If you flopped, you flopped. And if people making content for,
I'm looking
you
up
know,
the tweet.
I
someone
don't
making
necessarily think B Nelson flopped either.
well, no.
I just don't
So
think he
I don't.
got into a
I'm not
team.
talking about. I don't
But
think
I
that
think it's just a
flopped
distasteful
or not.
tweet. I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I think it's soft. Like, it's not even a tweet. It was like
But
an
it's
actual
not him being
article of
soft.
a
Like
video.
if you read his tweet, he was just like, yeah, it's whatever. I really don't care. I just found
No,
it
he
funny.
literally goes like, no,
Okay,
he
I can
literally
pull the tweet up now. I know you're wrong,
I'm
cause
looking for the
do
tweet
it.
right now. When was
He
it? When was
quoted
it?
it and said like, ouch, or
yeah, he said
something
ouch, and then in under the thing he said, guys, I don't really care. Don't give them hate.
No, yeah, no, sure, I get that, but even like giving it attention in the first place is just like one of those things. Like, you knew that pissed him off. You knew that pissed him off. He wouldn't have said anything if it didn't bother him.
I think it's a distasteful article. I don't think he was being
Why?
soft for it though,
Why is it distasteful?
because it's just weird. Like, oh, pro
What's weird?
players that didn't live up to their expectations. It's just
That
distasteful.
people write that about baseball players, basketball players.
I think
They
it's
write about
distasteful,
okay, well,
regardless of who. But your point to him being to pro players being
there-
soft, he
Ooh,
wasn't soft.
real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for that. I just gotta mention this.
I have
Bro, I'm sorry for interrupting you guys' take real quick. Dude, when I tell you I literally almost
Okay,
shit
first of
my
all,
pants. My fault.
first
Okay.
of all, he didn't say ouch. He said nice.
yeah,
Deserto deleted the tweet, and then thank
but
you
no,
guys for all being so nice to me in the
not even
comments. I
don't
tweeted
wanna
this,
harp
expect nothing but negative shit and hate like you guys all fed me over the past 5 to 6 years. I compete it.
His time being
Anyways,
soft.
I had no problem with the video.
Yeah, sure, but I'm saying, like, it clearly bothered him, or he wouldn't have gave it mention, and I don't wanna harp on this one thing because it's a waste of time to argue about it, but another thing is when it comes to my own Chicago Optic, when back in the day when I don't know if it was Rock or whoever tweeted out, face cams of them being upset after they lost a match to Rock or whoever it was, and Scump made a big deal about it, and people made big deals about it, being like, yeah, the team, the org Twitter shouldn't do that. Dude, that's soft, bro. That's fucking soft. Get over it.
I agree that them complaining is soft. But I think
I,
I
I
think
agree
I
that
think you're
it's soft
conflating
complaint,
two
but I
different
don't
things where
know.
like a tweet can be
I,
distasteful, but you can also just
actually,
take it like a champ and it not have you being soft. Like something can still be like a bad tweet, and then somebody like you just take it on the chin and do whatever, but that doesn't make them soft. You know what I mean? For being like,
And
oh,
his
that's a bad tweet.
I expected hate like you guys have been giving me for the past 6 years. He's having a pity party for himself.
yeah, I will say
That's
that
my
part was kind
opinion.
of
I
like,
don't
bro,
But
you're
care how
he said, and Deserto deleted the article, so it was
which is
obviously a bad article.
no, but so did Rocker deleted the tweet of the face cam. So was that a bad tweet?
I think it was
My
yeah,
thing
it
is,
was
yeah,
a
I think it was
distasteful
bad
tweet.
because that's what
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I get them complaining about a lot about it to an extent. Was like, come on, man, chill. But like at the same time, like I agree because I don't think I don't think it's professional. It's also not very sportsmanlike of like you to show your opponent down and shit. I mean, that's not
Bro, but
really
these
etiquette.
fucking do this all the
Okay,
time.
here's the thing: like a tweet can
The-
be distasteful, but it's how you react to it determines if you're soft. Right? You can say like, "Hey, that tweet was kind of shitty." That doesn't make you
I'm
soft,
not
though.
just coming at just this dude.
No,
I'm
I'm
just saying
saying in general, like the face cams, the way they harped on it and kept going with it made them soft. That's the fact that they're like, "Yeah, this tweet was kind of shitty," which it kind of was.
I
yeah,
thought
because
it's a hilarious tweet, and I think if anybody who thinks it's shitty is soft.
Well, this is coming from the guy that talks the most enormous amount of shit ever. So
That's
it's
yeah,
like you
uh,
have you have no
fucking
like
funny.
sportsmanship in your bones. So
My
I get where
fault
you're
if
coming
you can't
from.
take a fucking
oh
joke.
God, he's ruthless.
My bad if you can't take a joke, but I follow Cincinnati Reds and their Twitter, they're always roasting people. When fucking Nick Castellanos flexed on the Cardinals player when he slid into home on him and he stopped and flex, all Reds did for the next week, even though the player got suspended and fined, was tweet that out. That's fucking funny.
That's not really distasteful or
Not
anything
the same
towards
thing.
an enemy team or some shit.
It's
Yeah,
just
like
Not
no,
the
it's the
same thing.
same shit because he
that's
flexed
not
on the
the
guy
same.
in his
Same.
face. He flexed on the guy in his face talking shit.
Not the same thing.
Well, no, but that's not the same thing. That's like if when you're going when Scum said rent free to about Crimsix. It's more that was just more of like that's something people still say to this day just because it's a more of a quote. It's more of a oh it's he did that to you. It's such a historic flex in COD that's why you do it. Same thing with like teams at lands beat a team and they're like oh you choked you suck. But at the end of the day they'll still go like fist bump like yo like GG just because it's sportsmanlike conduct. Like that's just the etiquette, and you don't want to fucking just put someone who just lost something important down. You don't want to do that because it's just kind of messed up. It's just kind of
That
messed up.
it's not even putting them down. It was just a tweet. It was a funny tweet in my opinion. It was a good tweet, and like even when you listen to the flank, you get like these guys on there saying like, yeah, New York Sink, but they're so good individually, yada yada yada. No, bro, just say how it is. They suck. You don't have to suck any pro player's dick off just in case they get fucking sensitive
Whoa,
about
watch your profanity.
about what you say. I'm
Fuck up.
just tired of how
I
soft.
think you're being soft about people being
Yeah,
soft, dog. Like,
yeah.
I'm
What do
sorry,
you
not everybody's running around screaming in each other's face like you do,
Man,
but
I
it's
woke
just
up and
like,
chose violence.
No,
Woke up and
I
put
mean,
Black Air Force Ones
if
on.
you guys don't think they're soft, so be it. We don't have to talk about it anymore. But I mean, you look at every other fucking league that they're. I mean, you look at Gears, you look at fucking sports leagues. Like people talk shit, and it doesn't mean they have to have
I think,
any
you're
player.
talking shit and that tweet are two different.
yeah, 100%.
I mean, people make articles all the fucking time about how
We're
players
talking about
flop.
we're talking about the face cam.
Oh, the face cam. There was nothing wrong with the face cam.
It was distasteful. Saying. Yeah, you could probably say that Scump was a little soft about it, but it was still a distasteful tweet.
Yes.
I think he took it a little overboard. Like, you just say, like, hey, like, that's a shitty tweet, but it's whatever. I don't really care. That's how you handle it. But he
But
harped
he
on
did
it.
and he
Yeah,
did
so
care.
I agree that they were being soft. I'm not disagreeing with you. But you just think it's a good tweet when it wasn't.
It doesn't
Distasteful
matter
tweet.
what I think about the tweet was or not. It's the fact that, like you said, they're getting pissed off about it, and they're getting sensitive about it, and all these people came to their defense.
Well, because that's Optic. You have the biggest fan base. It's gonna happen, no matter
Truly,
what.
truly. Yeah,
But
I'm just
let's
Optic
get
fans,
into
but
next
uh,
week's.
I don't
Yeah,
want to. Yeah, I
what's
don't want to. Let's not finish any more time on that. A lot of everyone, give your opinions on the comments when you have a chance, or just what your take on that is. That's a little food for thought. We're gonna go ahead and move into next week. So it's the Seattle home series, the week before the major, last major of the year, and then champs. So this is gonna go
All
on
right,
from the
let's get in our
22nd to the
picks. Enough
25th.
dilly dallying. I'm tired of dilly dallying. Let's just get in our picks. Brody, you go first because mine
This
logged out.
motherfucker, I swear to
my
God,
first?
bro.
Okay, so firstly, I am taking Toronto Ultra money line over Dallas Empire. Toronto Ultra is just a dominant team. I think they're a solid first or second place team in champs for me. I think this is the only team that has a shot at taking the crown from FaZe and champs, and it's an easy matchup. Dallas Empire
Wait,
struggling last week against Florida. Toronto
you said
Ultra,
Dallas versus or Dallas wins over Toronto. I'm
no,
sorry, what you said?
Toronto with us.
Toronto. What? 3-2?
No, just whatever. I mean,
Just in
they
general.
win. I think it's a 3-1 if I have to put a number on it, but I think Toronto takes that easily. So I'm taking a money line on that. Then I'm taking the
That's one of my picks as well, huh?
yeah,
Brody, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I'm taking the Toronto Ultra minus 1.1.5 spread versus Florida. I have faith in Florida. I like Florida, but they're not beating Ultra. I just don't see it happening. Um, I'm taking the spread with Toronto Ultra on that map. Then New York Subliners versus Atlanta Faze. I'm taking the Atlanta Faze minus 2.5 spread. I think that's an easy 3-0 for Faze. New York coming in with a totally different squad. And they were already struggling beforehand. I don't think they turn it around enough to even take a map off Faze. I think this team is chalk this week. I think they're in the same category as like a Paris or a London. You can safely bet against them all week. And then I'm going to take the Florida Mutineers money line versus Minnesota Roker. I gotta give Florida some love. I enjoyed their match so much last week that I want some money riding on their match this week. I think they can beat Minnesota Roker. I think those are two teams that are pretty even in skill. I think Florida's gonna get the upper hand on this.
So my picks, we have pretty similar picks here. Um, I took the same one. Which one? Oh yeah, the Atlanta Phase minus 2.5. I mean, at a minus 106, odds, like that's an instant lock for me. New York stinks, and when I say stinks, they suck. I mean, it's really bad. Like there's probably challengers teams that can beat them. Um, with between Florida and Roker, I didn't take the Florida money line, but give me Florida minus 1.5. Roker sucks. I have no faith in them, and the odds on that are plus 148. Crazy odds for Florida. Next you got Seattle versus LAG. LAG just flat out stinks. Um, Give me Seattle minus 1.5. LA Thieves versus Chicago. Chicago hit their stride the past 2 weeks. Give me them minus 1.5. And for my final pick, I had to go with Seattle Surge versus Dallas Empire. Seattle Surge, they're not getting 3 0'd, plus 2.5 on Seattle Surge. I just didn't like what I see out of Empire. I like what I see out of Surge. Granted, they both could be flukes, but it's gambling. And then for your 3-leg parlay of the week, I got some bangers, boys. Are you Roger? I need you to lock in because this is hitting this week, okay? Put in $5, win 50 back. This is easy money. Florida versus Ultra, minus 1.5 on the Ultra side. I mean, that's easy. That's so easy.
Oh,
Uh
fuck all this means.
Give me Ravens and Chicago. That's an easy 3-0.
I thought that's a Chirac, bro.
I forgot to mention that. I do have the under on the London Ravens versus the Optic Chicago. I think
I mean,
Optic 3-0s them
an
easily.
easy lock.
Yeah.
Easy lock. And then you guys aren't ready for this. I'm coming at Brody's neck, his livelihood with this pick. Paris Legion over New York Subliners. The odds at plus 120.
Listen,
Easy.
I don't don't have any faith in this New York team. Paris is not beating them.
Easy.
Honestly, yeah, that is the one match I will say.
I
Actually,
was like, okay, he might actually hit this
very
parlay
interested.
this week, and then he said Paris is beating New York, and I was like, all right, this guy is a moron.
I will say, man, that Paris versus New York match is the only one, or not the only one, but one of the ones that I'm most interested in, and it's awesome because it starts the week off, just because we're seeing a Paris that just coming off hot of a victory, they just didn't expect, and they're again playing for their form of champs or what, and then you just have a New York that's again new and, you know, you can say hungry, but just new and with not much experience. I would have to say though, truly, if since I'm the tiebreaker there. I I honestly I like Paris is looking good. Paris honestly probably is gonna win it, but I'm sorry. I have to go with my boy Wasim. He's too good. He's too amazing. Wasim for the in-game lead. He's taking over Phase. I have a Phase. Phase. I'm thinking of Black Ops 4. I have Wasim taking over for New York Subliners in that game, just winning. Don't know honestly, genuinely. I really can't tell you if it's gonna go last game or whatever. But I have faith in my boys in New York because Wasim. Next, I actually wanna say both Chicago matches are amazing. I'll definitely that London though is definitely easy. I will definitely say I can confidently want to say 3-0 on that Chicago versus London. And another thing I want to comment about is I definitely want to say I mean Chicago's gonna beat Thieves as well, but I mean this is just a big week for Chicago because if they win those matches, I mean they're set to taking first seed and playing well or getting winners bracket and hopefully just getting enough points to move up on the ladder and maybe get a third, fourth
I
seed at
also
champs.
think that winners bracket for Optic is pretty essential.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I just don't think they can, especially because like we said, we know Optic, and like Brody was saying earlier in the podcast, they have times where they're just slow and
They start
they gotta
slow
recover. Yeah,
every event.
and that's what I'm saying. An Optic and losers bracket is dangerous because, like I said, if they start slow, it's over. So I think it's crucial for them. Another thing I definitely want to say is, yeah, Dallas definitely that's another easy pick. I'm just 3-0ing Seattle, confident in that, super confident. Octane sucks. No, bro. Another match I want to say actually that this is another pick. At Paris beating London again. I genuinely can't say what map count it. I just Paris is gonna win that. London's chalk, bro. London's chalk. Honestly, I honestly want to say like, not that I don't like anybody on London or anything, but London's like my least favorite team. I don't know about you guys. If we never, I don't know if we really talked about least favorite teams or anything, but I say London and LAG honestly are like two of my least favorite teams. Just LAG because of the management, what they did Sheen, but I do like Apathy. London genuinely just because I don't really know anybody on that team. Like, and I feel like I mean, if they would have kept Parasite on there, I mean, I might have still been a fan. We needed Parasite on that, Brody, right? We need
Oh,
Parasite on London.
homie was
Shout
just
out to
hitting too many
Duarte.
hit his girlfriends
Too many
up.
DMs.
Yeah,
Too
it was
many
just
too many DMs.
he was slide canceling into those DMs, and it was just too much.
He was VTOL dashing boy. But anyway, yeah. So shouts to Parasite. And then finally, man, I really want to talk. I really want to talk about that last match, the Toronto versus Dallas match. I really want to highlight that because that match, honestly, I think is gonna settle a good debate just before this major, just setting up who we truly believe the second best team in the game is right now. Because like we said, who knows if that Dallas team? I mean, the Dallas versus Seattle match isn't. I don't feel like is a good match of is good enough to tell whether Dallas is recovering from that last week, like the off team and just really getting back together. Um, and so I just feel like that Toronto Dallas versus Toronto match. If Dallas wins, it's just gonna I think they're gonna push them forward and solidify them to just keep getting better. But I don't believe that's gonna happen. Toronto's winning that shit. Okay, so that's my picks. Yeah. But anyway, important matches, amazing matches this week.
It should
Honestly,
be a
I'm
good
actually
week,
very
actually.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this week. I'm very excited for this week.
And we all
And
know who's in
then
the lead for the cup. It's your boy. We'll have graphics up on the Twitter, just to show you how much money Brody's losing.
And then-
Guy wins one
and
more
how
match than me.
I am excited for the major though, and then of course champs coming up in August 17th or 19th through the 22nd. What is it?
I'm not sure.
Let me look at the
It's
calendar here real quick.
yeah, it's the 19th to 22nd.
Yeah, 19th to 22nd. You're right. So that's exciting. That's gonna be very exciting. But yep, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, real quick, any final thoughts before we're at 50? I think around 55 minutes in this podcast. So
Follow us on Twitter.
definitely
What
want
is
to
it,
try to keep
Brody?
it
The Grind Cod.
At the Grind Cod on Twitter, at the Grind Cod on YouTube.
Well, it's just the Grind on YouTube.
Grind Cod, I think.
Nope. Positive. It's the Grind on YouTube. The Grind on Spotify.
beefing. They're beefing.
Apple Podcasts is giving us trouble. They actually didn't approve our last one yet for some reason. So I'll have to, maybe I didn't put it, it was an explicit pod. So hopefully we get that figured out. But yeah, anymore. I mean,
I think-
Brody, you're gonna be streaming the league.
Oh,
Give yourself a little shout out.
Maybe.
maybe. It depends how we're playing. You know what I
Well,
mean? Can't go out here embarrassing myself. You know what I mean?
Let's not talk about too much about it right now. I mean, you did. All I'm gonna say on that real quick is Austin 550 Miami S&D GB or
I don't really know what you're
CMG.
talking. I don't remember what you're talking
And
about.
Brody knows.
I know exactly what
Brody
you're talking
knows.
about.
You know exactly what I'm saying, ladies and
I know
gentlemen.
it.
This is why I don't gamble.
We're gonna be posting hopefully every Wednesday night, if not Thursday morning.
Hopefully. That is the plan. That is the plan. Trying to get on
So-
a consistent schedule.
And like I said, Apple Podcasts, stop being fucking bitches and let us upload. And that's it.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you again for coming in. Again, thank you, Brody, for coming in, and thank you, special guest Clayster. I'm so sorry, Austin.
But thank you,
amazing
Roger, for
takes.
coming in.
And thank
Honestly,
you,
Roger,
thank you guys. I
you
appreciate
made
it.
us wait hours for this.
Sure.
By the way, it's 1 a.m. Eastern
was
Standard
a-
Time
I suppose
for me and
honestly,
Brody. So.
audacity, like, I'm not gonna say it just pissed me off, but this will definitely got me on my sodium levels on the rise, knowing damn well how I work, and then I'm on in the morning. And when we damn well, me and Brody both agreed we should have recorded this tomorrow.
When
But
you
we
still
we,
would be
but
out
we
late.
said exactly.
All right, we'll see you
whatever.
guys next week.
It was